Hi there. So today I want to talk a little about something called a speech sound disorder, or SSD. Now that might sound like a technical term, but it's pretty simple when you break it down. A speech sound disorder happens when a child has trouble saying certain sounds correctly. For example, they might say wabbit instead of rabbit, or leave sounds off completely, like saying boo instead of blue. This goes beyond just cute mispronunciations that many kids go through. With a speech sound disorder, these difficulties persist beyond the age when most kids have mastered those sounds. It can affect how early they are understood by others, and that can impact their confidence and ability to communicate. As a teacher, learning more about speech sound disorders has really opened my eyes. I used to think of speech difficulties as something that speech therapists handled, separate from what I do in the classroom, but now I realize how connected it is to everything we do: reading, writing, participating in classroom discussion, and even forming friendships. Reading about the assessments and strategies speech-language pathologists use helped me see how systematic and thoughtful their work is. But what really stood out to me was how these difficulties can make a child feel isolated or misunderstood. That realization hit me emotionally, because no student should feel like their voice doesn't matter or isn't being heard clearly. This topic made me reflect on students I've had in the past who may have struggled more than I realized. It motivates me to be more proactive, more observant, and more compassionate moving forward. Speech sound disorders can have a big impact on students. On the negative side, they can lead to frustration during oral activities, reading aloud, or group discussions. Some students may withdraw or avoid speaking in class, which can hurt their self-esteem or make it harder for them to connect with peers. It can even affect their ability to spell or decode words, which influences their academic performance in subjects like reading and writing. But there are also positive possibilities, especially when these disorders are identified and supported early. With the right help from teachers, speech-language pathologists, and families, students can make tremendous progress. And when we as educators recognize and validate their efforts, it can really build their confidence. Going forward, my awareness of speech sound disorders will absolutely shape my teaching. I'll be more intentional about offering multiple ways for students to express themselves, not just verbally. I'll also be looking out for signs that students might be struggling with speech, and I won't hesitate to collaborate with specialists or advocate for interventions when needed. Ultimately, I want my classroom to be a place where every student feels safe to speak up, be heard, and grow.